Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me. My name is Tom Holland, and this is Maximum Profit. This 16-part series has been designed with you, the salesperson, in mind. You crave the chase, but it is the thrill of conquest that ultimately separates you from everybody else. It is that desire to bag the trophy, to claim the prize. That's what starts your fire every day. That's what gets you up and moves you in the morning. I know. That's what does it for me. For that reason, I have dedicated a series to you to try to help you even more. My quest is to find that perfect sale, the way to make that sale happen every time. And I understand that by combining sales with psychology, something I refer to as salesology, we should be able to ultimately make maximum profit on every deal. And that's what this is all about. This is all about you. So I've put this together in several different formats. The formats that I have chosen, well, they include the video series that you're looking at now. There's also a sales manual that's been written. You can look at the PowerPoint production, which is what you'll be following on the screen behind me. There's a PDF file for people that don't like to use PowerPoint. I have an ebook and audiobook. So there's just about every manner of way that you could use in helping you to produce more sales, more time, and ensure that you have maximum profit along the way. It's all available to you. Now, how do I have this series broken down? Well, we start with an introduction to selling. This is actually two parts. So part one and part two are both about an introduction to selling. Then we have how to welcome the guest. We also have delivering DOMs and DBMs. A DOM is a dominant owner motive. A DBM is a dominant buying motive. We're going to talk about those at length. Selecting the right vehicle. Product awareness. Two parts there again. Comfort and handling. A complimentary tour. A picture appraisal. Soft budget, which is a selectable owner funding table. And whenever I get to the soft budget, I'm going to show you a way to close more of the people you have ever had. And the way you're going to close them is on a first pencil. It's totally amazing, and I can't wait for us to get there. We also have TVO. It's a tactile vehicle orientation. Nobody in the industry does this. This is one of mine that I have invented. Turning to the FSO, that's the Financial Services Office. Special client delivery, and dedicated care. Well, to begin the process, we're going to start with an introduction to selling. The introduction to selling is really asking the question of who you are and what you're doing. But it's also looking at what we do every day that keeps us from winning. I am taken back to the time when there was a boxer by the name of Muhammad Ali who used to parade around all the time saying, "I'm a bad man. I'm a bad man." And he really was. Not only was he one of the greatest champions of all time, he was also great in and out of the ring. When I look at Muhammad Ali and how he said he was a bad man, I started thinking, you have to be bad in order to be really, really good. And I started thinking, if I have to be bad in order to be really, really good, then I need to be bold. I need to be aggressive. I need to be determined. That would make me bad. And you know what? In order to be really, really good, you have to be really, really bad. You have to be bold. You have to be aggressive. You have to be determined. The problem isn't you. The problem is how you have been trained. My latest book is a book called The Folder Effect. In this book, I talk a lot about how we're trained, how we're taught, and how we stay in these bubbles that people put us in. Let me address this. Let's say this is you. Well, you are actually in what I like to refer to as a comfort zone. Here's the problem. While you're in this comfort zone, all of the money in the world is over here. So you're over here, and this is where all the money is. It's not doing you any good being over there. See, what we want to do is we want to take you from here to here. But you are trapped in this income bubble. You don't know how much money you're worth because you've been told that you're only as good as the trainers you've had. These teachers, these educators have really hurt you because they told you this is what you're worth. This is what you're worth. But it's not. This is what you're worth. You should come over here. You don't think that way. And the reason you don't think that way is because you've been taught how to think. You have been taught from the time that you were a child. You have been trained to think in a very certain way. You have been educated to keep yourself in a certain area. You have been told what and how to think all of your life. Even today, you hear people talking about the rich as if the rich were evil. It's that evil 1% that's keeping everybody down. No, it's not. It's the people teaching you to stay down that are keeping you down. It's the people telling you that being up on top is a bad place to be. So you automatically, you start hurting yourself. You start sabotaging yourself because you don't want to get to the top of the hill. You don't want to get to the very crest. You don't want to be at the apex. You can't see yourself at the summit because if you do, you'll see yourself as being evil. Well, that's just not true. It is not true. Do you know there are no poor people sitting right now on a corner with their cardboard sign who are donating $100,000 to ending cancer? You see, you can't help if you don't have the funds, if you don't have the ability. So the thing that you have to do today is you have to change the way you think. I need you to get out of the way you're thinking now because you're nothing more than a folder effect. You're the result of everything you've been taught. I want you to today promise me that you will understand that you can take yourself from where it was to where it should be. And that is in the middle of all of that wealth where you can grow. To do that, we have to start thinking differently. And as a person who is selling automobiles, you need to understand you can sell every customer that walks through that front door, except the ones that absolutely just do not want a car. But if they want a car, if they came to you to buy, you can help them. But you have to start doing things differently. Think about how people gauge their situations. It's what I like to refer to as a folder effect, because you have all of these folders in your mind. The customer pulls up. The only thing the customer is thinking is, oh my God, here comes a car salesman. Danger. Risky business. What am I going to do? Do I buy a vehicle? And they think that the car salesman is just sitting there going, yep, another fish on the line. We already have these preconceived thoughts, what I like to refer to as defaults. And these defaults are hurting us, and they're hurting us dramatically. We have to change the way we think, and we have to change the way that the customer views us. That means that we have to do things differently. If we do things differently, it will change the outcome. A close is nothing more than the inevitable conclusion of a powerful beginning. If you start this right, it will end right. But you have to start it right. And we're not starting it right. What we do is we see people and we start asking the same questions that we've been asking for the last 50 years. These are what I like to refer to as lazy questions, but what they are, they're defaults. We immediately see the customer, we go, hi, can I help you? Of course, the customer, they're thinking, well, here it is, same old, same thing. How you doing today? Is there anything I can show you? We are living out this fantasy in our mind that the customer is just going to walk up and give us money. And I guess the customer is in this fantasy world that we're going to walk up with a contract in our hand saying, here you go, nothing down, $250 a month. It doesn't work like that for either one of us. So what we have to do is we have to stop with our defaults. In other words, we have to start looking at this differently. We have to start acting differently. We have to start speaking differently. We have to use different verbiage. Whenever we meet our customer, if we meet our customer differently, I'm telling you right now, things change. But nothing will change until you do. I know for a fact how beneficial change can be. You have to understand that if you continue to do what you've always done, you'll continue to get what you've always gotten. I want to help you make this transition. I want to help you become better. So, think about helping others. Think about what you're doing for people. We meet people every day. I want to take you out of the car business for a minute. And I want to place you at a party, a social gathering. And I want someone to come up and ask you what you do for a living. I know what your answer is going to be because it's what your answer is always. It's the same answer I had when I first got in the business. I'm a car salesman. I'm a salesperson. I'm a product knowledge specialist. I'm a sales and leasing consultant. We have all of these different tags, these identifiers. But these are titles. They're not what you do for a living. The next time someone walks up and asks you, what do you do for a living? I want you to tell them you solve problems. I guarantee you when you say that you're a problem solver, they're going to say, really? You see, you're going to start the conversation, not end it. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to begin the conversation. I want you to get that person, not necessarily a customer, maybe not yet, but I want you to get that person so interested that they start talking to you. Tell them that you put dreams in driveways. You see, what we do is monumentally important. We make a difference in the world. Without salespeople, the wheels of commerce come to a stop. You are incredibly important. You need to start letting other people know this. You're a problem solver. You put dreams in driveways. I want you to be able to get a hold of me and ask me questions. As we go through this series, you will find they're all anywhere 15 to 20 minutes in length. I want you to contact me at tom@thefoldereffect.com, FOLDEREFFECT, tom@thefoldereffect.com. That is my latest book. And ask me questions that you have. Let me try to help you become better and better at everything. And until next time, keep your head up, a smile on your face, and courage in your heart.